everyone. Today I'll be talking about the R46 New York City subway car. Let's get into it. The R46 is a New York City subway car model that was built by the Pullman Standard Company from 1975 to 1978 for the IND and BMT-B division. They replaced all remaining R9 cars and General Electric powered R16s and some R10s. The R46 order initially consisted of 754 single cars, each 75 feet, 23 meters long, and the largest single car order of passenger cars in the United States railroad history. At the point of the fleet's completion, the R46 was the second car order of 75-foot cars to be ordered for the New York City subway after the R44s, which I'll be talking about in a later video. The R46s ran in passenger service on July 14, 1975. The fleet was initially slated to be delivered between 1973 and 1975, but a strike at Pullman's factory caused the delivery's completion to be delayed until 1978. In the first few years of its completion, several hundred cracks were found in the fleet's trucks, leading the new R46s to be referred as the most troubled carts ever purchased from 1990 to 1992. Morrison Knudsen rebuilt 752 of the R46s, the other two having been destroyed in a crash in 1986 after their overhaul. The R46s renumbered and linked sets of 4 except for 28 cars, which were arranged into sets of 2. The R46 is expected to remain in full service until the mid-2020s and 2022, when they will be replaced by the R211s. The R46s numbered 5482, 6207, 6208, and 6258, even numbers only. The 5482, 6207 were originally numbered 500 and 1227, except numbers 941 and 1054, as those two cars were scrapped prior to overhaul, and 6208 and 6258 were originally numbered as 12218 and 1278. The R46 order consisted of 754 cars. 754 cars. Originally planned to be 745 that were numbered from 500 to 1,000, from 1,278. Even cars with cabs are A cars. Odd cars without cabs are B cars. The cars costed about $285 each, along with previous R44s. The R46s are 75 feet, 22.86 meters long. The R46s were constructed with sheet rubber floors, plastic seats, and fluorescent lighting, spaces for the ceiling advertisements, and the use of air springs instead of heavy metal springs. The change of springs reduced noisy and bumpy rides. The cars were not equipped with strap hangers like previous models. Instead, horizontal bars that passengers could hold onto were installed. The cars were built with air conditioning. Currently, the cars maintained at Pipkin Yard run on the AC Rockwood Park Shuttle, while those maintained at Coney Island Yard run on the G, N, Q, and W. On April 7, 1972, Pullman Standard bid on the contract for the 900 subway cars. It was the highest bidder, but on the bid of $273,000 per car, or $246 million for the entire contract. Other bidders were the General Electric Roher Industries, Westinghouse Electric Corporation. These cars were constructed almost identically to the R44s. Once the order was awarded to Pullman Standard, the cars were constructed at the company's shops at the South Side Shop of Chicago. The subway car order was the largest single order of passenger cars in the United States railroad history at the time of the fleet's completion. Once the order was reduced to 754 cars, the entire cost of the order was reduced to $210.5 million. The first cars were expected on were testing were expected to be testing on the New York City subway by October 1973, and all the cars were expected to be delivered by October 15th, 1975. However, the two trains of the R46s were placed on the F and N on July 14th, 1975, with a brief ceremony at 34th Street Herald Square, attended by Mayor Abraham Beame and the MTA chairman David Yunch. Due to a strike at Pullman Standard on October 77, along with the other problems, the R46s entered service on December 1978, 3 cars behind schedule. On March 1977, there was a crack found in the frame of the lightweight trucks built by Rockwell International, which resulted in a motor breaking loose from the truck's tarsum arms, striking an axle by 1978. Cracks were found in the 264 R46 trucks. Because of these problems, all R46s had to be checked 3 times per week for truck cracks in 1978. In February 1978. 889 cracks were found in the 547 of the trucks. The cracking was a bad problem that on June 1979, the New York City Mayor Qart ordered R46s with trucks that had 2 or more cracks would be taken out of service. Then more than 1,200 cracks had been found by that day. They were classified into 7 types. There was an account called the R46's most trouble. There was an account called the R46's, the most troubled cars ever purchased. By this time, the number of cracks had almost doubled from 889 cracks found in February 1979 to 1,700 cracks in March 1980. The order to keep the track of the R46's structural issues, they were inspected several times a week. In September 1980, the 2 types of cracks were not seen before on the trucks. As a result, the NYCTA tried to minimize usage of the R46 fleet until the trucks were replaced with the new R44 type standard trucks ordered from General Steel Industries and Buckeye Industries. In July 1979, Pullman Standard informed the MTA that the handbrake assemblies for the car R46 was problematic. In late July 1979, inspections revealed that the steel where the car body was joined to the truck was wearing away, a severe safety issue. At the end of 1979, many other flaws were discovered in the R46 fleet. The Transit Authority felt another U.S. $80 million to charge against the Pullman Standard and the number of other subcontractors. This lawsuit invalidated an agreement made by Pullman, the executive director John G. DeRoos, for U.S. $1.5 million in spare parts to remedy the defects. In 1983, Organizations for the Blind stated that the gaps between the R44 and R46 were dangerous, since the blind could mistake the spaces for doorways. On April 26, 1986, cars 1054 and 941 were heavily damaged when an E-train hit a tunnel near Jamaica 179th Street. The accident occurred because the 50-year-old motorman Alec Williams of St. Albans had a heart attack. He died at the scene. The two damaged cars scrapped on June 4th, 1987. From 1990 to 1992, Morrison Knudsen of Hornell, New York, rebuilt the remaining 752 R46s through the NYCTA's General Overhaul Program, GOV. During the general overhaul, the fleet received some LCD destination signs as the R44s, replacing the older roll signs. The blue stripes on the side of the cars were removed, resulting in an appearance of an entirely unpainted car body. The fiberglass ends remain painted silver to match the stainless sides. The other improvements included to the rebuilding of the mechanical systems and making the R46s more compatible with other car types. So their trouble-prone WABCO RT5 or P-wire braking system was removed and replaced with a more reliable NYAB Neutron SME braking control system. After the overhaul, R46s were numbered 5482, 6258. In the mid-90s, cars 5482, 6205 were linked in sets of 6208, 6258, even only, were linked up as AA pairs, and cars 6206 and 6207 were configured as a AB married pair. Like the R44s, their originally two-note warning tones were replaced with the same ones on the R62, R62A, R68, and R68A. However, some cars kept their pre-Gulf door chimes. Due to the overhaul, their pre-general overhaul door chimes. Due to the overhaul, the fleet's reliability was vastly improved, and the R46s was no longer considered to be the lemon that it once was. So the R46 used to be a lemon? Oh, no way. Post-overhaul. In 1981, the New York Transit Authority car replacement program estimated that the R46s would be replaced in 2011. However, the MTA now estimates the cars remain in service into the mid-2020s, when they will be replaced by the R211s. Since the late 2000s, R46s have undergone intermediate rounds of scheduled maintenance as their parts age over time to extend their usefulness until their retirement. On May 12, 2014, set 5742 and 5745 was involved in a derailment due to track defects while running on the F. The whole set was pulled from service, but was repaired to be returned to service on February 2016. On June 27, 2017, as set 6150 and 6153 was involved in the derailment of north of 125th Street while in service on the A. The whole set was taken out of service. Cars 6150 and 6151 suffered body damage as they collided with the tunnel columns and were retired. However, 6151 was retained and fitted with strip maps, colored wraps, and some seats removed to serve as a non-operational mock-up for future retrofits. As a part of the 2017 action plan, meanwhile, the cars 6152 and 6153 were linked with cars 6206 and 6207 to create a new 4-car set to be re-entered into service. On September 20th, 2020, set 6062, 6065 was involved at a derailment at 14th Street. It was a pretty recent crash, like almost last year, when a man placed track-type plates onto the main rails, causing the train to derail. Well, I wonder, but by the way, it was a homeless man who did that. He was later arrested up on the scene, and it was on the news too. I'm pretty sure that Lego MT and Moonlight Power Subways made a video on this, and he recorded some trains running on different lines. Car 6062 suffered a body damage as it collided with the trackside columns and was retired, and it still sits at Pitkin Yard to this day. Meanwhile, 60 and 63 were linked with the car 60, 63, and 65 were linked with the car 6212 to create a new 4-car set and re-entered in service, and 6214 was taken out of service. Thank you for watching this video. I hope to see you next time. Please subscribe, turn on the notifications, and bye!